Story 1. Honestly, it's the little things for me, like listening to music that makes me feel something, talking to my best friend late at night, or even just the hope that things can get better. Life can be really overwhelming sometimes, but I try to hold on to those tiny moments that remind me it's worth staying. Story 2. I have countless reasons to stay alive and keep going. Family, friends, love, and more. But when all of that is gone or has failed, spite is deep in my heart. It is the one thing I can hold on to when I am at my darkest. I refuse to let go or give in. Life must earn this death. I will not give it the satisfaction. Story 3. My dog would be so confused about why I'm not coming home. I think about her sitting by the door, waiting for me, fully expecting to hear the sound of keys, followed by a joyful, "Hey buddy, did you miss me? I missed you. Who's the best girl in the world? You are." This is followed by scritches and her daily 6 p.m. treat. The thought makes me tear up. I will never leave this earth as long as my dog is alive. It doesn't matter how depressed I am. I owe her that much. I love that dog so much. Story 4. I never used to feel like anything mattered, but now I have my niece, I'm in college, and I've started a new job. There are so many places I want to visit and things I want to do, and that motivates me. Story 5. The unknown. We exist for a fleeting moment in this universe. We have the privilege of a lifetime. We are in a unique era in the history of our planet, filled with knowledge and understanding. A whole new life could be right around the next corner. Story 6. The dream is to take mom anywhere, anytime, and buy her anything she wants without worrying about the price. Story 7. My dogs and all the dogs out there currently needing rescue from terrible circumstances inspire me. I specialize in pit bull rescue and trauma rehabilitation, helping them find loving homes. Until none of them are suffering, I am committed to this cause. Story 8. I'm just here for the plot twists. Life is basically a sitcom, and I want to see what ridiculous thing happens next, hopefully involving cake. Story 9. My dad is a security guard who has spent his life standing outside a building on cold winter nights. I do not want to waste all his struggles to provide for us. I am determined to help him buy that building and donate it to the homeless. Story 10. Curiosity. There is always something new to learn, people to meet, and unique little joys to experience. Story 11. The simple fact that the woman who raised me is still in this world and would be absolutely devastated if anything happened to me. Story 12. I am 62 years old, single, and have no children. I still have an incredibly good time. I'm not wealthy and will have to work for a long time, but I can turn a road trip into a major event and a live concert into a late-night party with my best friend. Story 13. Perhaps what pulls us from sleep each morning with the thirst for life is not just one single thing, but the quiet, persistent whisper of possibility. It is the unwritten page of the day ahead, the chance for a moment of unexpected beauty, the way sunlight filters through the leaves, the taste of a warm drink, the melody of a half-forgotten song. It is the potential for connection, a shared laugh with someone, a moment of understanding, the simple comfort of presence. It is the inextinguishable curiosity about what comes next, the subtle shifts within ourselves as we learn and grow, the resilience that finds strength even after the darkest nights. It is the intricate, often unnoticed tapestry of sensations, emotions, and experiences that, woven together, make up the profound, fragile, and utterly unique gift of being alive, urging us gently yet firmly to embrace another sunrise. Story 14. I think there are a few people who might be happy if I am gone, and I do not want to give them that satisfaction. Story 15. Forced hope. And I do mean forced. It's a daily choice like feeding myself or drinking water. Hope has not come easily to me for a few years. I've been on antidepressants for 1 year, and I'm starting to really turn a corner. But choosing hope is the only way I'm getting through my personal struggles and the state of the world. Story 16. My daughters. I don't need to have an easy life as long as I can provide and take care of them. I'm good. I'll keep going. Take care of yourself, Dad. Story 17. Outliving Trump. I eagerly await the day when I see the news report that he had a massive heart attack while on the toilet and died. Petty? Sure. Likely? Fairly. It will be a good week when he goes, with celebrations in the streets around the world. And the Republicans will be quite upset about it as well. Story 18. There are some things I would like to do before I pass. I also do not want my parents to have to bury their child. Story 19. The possibility of turning my challenging life around, with all the odds against me and no support from my family, relies on my two good friends who live in another country. It's a daily struggle, but every day above ground is a good day for me. Story 20. People who love me. I do not want to make them heartbroken and miserable. I also fear death and the uncertainty of what happens afterward. Story 21. I want to become a clown in the future when I graduate. I believe I can change my life for the better and have a more optimistic mindset. Story 22. I don't know what will come after dying, so there is that. Could be worse than here, and I am not ready. Story 23. All the small moments of joy. The day when the sun finally returns after a long dark winter. The day the flowers start to bloom. Every time I laugh with my friends or meet someone I never thought I would speak to again. Every time I can sit down and enjoy a big bite of delicious cake. And every time I experience something new. That's what makes life worth living. All those beautiful moments. For me, playing the piano is essential. If I don't live fully, I can't learn that new piece I want to play. Story 24. Absolutely nothing, and I love it. I feel that having no attachment to anything gives me the freedom to take significant risks. Story 25. I have big plans to make, even though I'm not sure if they are realizable. However, I won't lie. Sometimes I lose interest in continuing in this world. Story 26. I want to make the world better than it is. I do not have any delusions of being a hero. It just feels good to be pushing in the right direction, even if I produce very little movement. Story 27. I have questioned why I should be alive twice in my life. Both times, I was able to escape that dark place by making new friends who genuinely wanted to spend time with me, and by finding enjoyment in the little things in life. Story 28. A superficial desire for tangible success and ascension in the social hierarchy exists. I have a loving family, but that is not enough for me. I must be honest. Story 29. Spite. If I don't care about death, it won't make a difference whether I live or die, so I just keep getting up each day, hoping I won't. Story 30. Honestly, I fear messing up my attempt and the medical bills afterward. Give me a Futurama suicide booth and I'm out of here. Story 31. When I was a teenager, I spent my time just trying to survive each day. I couldn't imagine myself living until adulthood. 10 years later, life changes so fast. Even my bad days now are just one bad day. If you had told me when I was a teenager that my life would look anything like it does now, I would have laughed and dismissed it. This journey we call life isn't as long as you may think or feel. Story 32. I'm not currently in a space where I want to be alive, but my children are a big reason for that. This may sound silly, but I don't want to miss all the amazing new music I'm going to discover between now and when I naturally pass away. That's what stopped me from ending my life multiple times when I was a teenager. Story 33. Hello. I am a 49-year-old married father of two. I have been nearly 2 years sober after 30 years of trying to drink myself happy. I have undergone therapy and medication for depression. I am now in the best mental place I have ever been in my adult life. That's how I got to where I am. My reason for continuing to live is simply to see what happens next. Interesting things are happening all the time, and I want to experience everything new. It's a very simple but powerful feeling. I wonder what is going to happen next. Story 34. Because life is wonderful, even though I am a broke 30-something man with no purpose, at least in the eyes of society, I still enjoy and find beauty in every single day. I love my morning coffee. I love the approaching summer when nature starts waking up and the sun is warm. I enjoy catching up on new videos, listening to music, talking to my friends, playing video games, and going fishing. I also love sharing my life with my partner. Story 35. I have experienced feelings of depression and suicidal thoughts in the past. I planned my entire suicide in great detail, but ultimately did not go through with it. What keeps me alive is a sense of hope that I can continue to improve and find excitement in my life. A few close friends and my therapist inspire me. I believe it would be wrong to give up without trying everything to make my life better. If I do that, my belief that life isn't worth living remains unproven and likely incorrect. Story 36. My two cats. I know at least one of them wouldn't make it 24 hours without me. He is very silly yet loved. Story 37. I am feeling really down. I want to die, but I know that suicide would feel like betraying myself, which I don't want to do. I am just hoping things will get better. However, I can't help but think that death would be a relief if it were to happen. Story 38. My natural and store-bought neurotransmitters help. I gave birth late in life, so I'm trying to support her as much as I can before I pass away. There are a fair amount of good things, along with some spite. Story 39. My dog saved my life. I would be dead or a paraplegic without him. He sensed what I was about to do and physically prevented me from opening my door and getting into my car. I owe everything to that clumsy yellow Labrador retriever. He is my best friend. Story 40. My family would be deeply affected. Additionally, suicide is very difficult and painful. Even if it were less painful, I still could not consider it because of my family. Story 41. It used to be guilt. I imagine a close friend would be very upset, having to explain to our mutual friends and the children we teach that I took my own life. Now I know it is only temporary. I never remember bad days because they don't matter as much as they feel when you are experiencing them. Story 42. I want to explore my possibilities. Will I finally get the apartment I've always wanted, the job, and graduate? Story 43. My life is pretty regular and nothing special. Not that I am ungrateful, but someday I would love to transform myself or break out with my hobby. A rags to riches story seems like something to aspire to. I also want to experience life to the fullest, including having children and reaching old age. Like a video game, I have to make it to the end. Story 44. I dislike feeling pain and the thought of not being able to take care of myself after a failed attempt at something. I also dislike sweating, so I wouldn't want to go to a bad place just because I decided I needed a break from life. Story 45. I think the survival program comes pre-installed, being human and all. Sometimes I even feel the desire to reproduce. Story 46. There is a whole world to travel to experience, to enjoy food, and to meet people. Story 47. My husband, our bulldog, and I enjoy cruising. Seeing the ocean, cozy rainy days, decorating for Christmas, doing little crafts, and spending time with my mom. Story 48. The inevitability of my death. My life is bearable, as long as I can live without significant discomfort, such as constant and unbearable physical pain. I will be eagerly and patiently waiting for my end. Story 49. Back when my life was filled with anxiety, those videos from point-of-view TikTok creators used to keep me motivated. I also found enjoyment in movies that portray death in a positive light. However, now my life is going great, and I am really happy. My joy motivates me to stay alive. Story 50. Being here is better than nothing. I have to hold on for a little while until my son arrives with his wife through the immigration process. Story 51. The possibilities that life has to offer and the things there are to see are endless. I recently got my passport, and I am excited to experience and witness so much. I earned it after not taking advantage of my life for so long. Story 52. So that was my life, and I felt it was unjust that mine would have been so difficult while some people would just move on, marry, have kids, and be happy, while my whole family that I loved would be very sad. Story 53. Service to others is the price you pay for your life here on this planet. I want to live a good life, help others, and provide for my family. Story 54. I'm a completionist. None of this can end until I have everything in my collection and have watched or read it all. Story 55. I have been reflecting on this lately, and it is interesting how we all find motivation in different things. For me, it is a mix of the little joys, such as spending time with friends, pursuing passions, and the idea that things can improve over time. Story 56. I am retired and live a comfortable, simple life. I hope they legalize euthanasia when it is time for me to leave if cancer, dementia, or any other illness diminishes my quality of life. Story 57. Nothing really. I wake up every day wondering how this day will end. To be honest, I don't know why I'm still here. Story 58. Religion, self-improvement, my mom and family. It's funny how all that loses its importance once you're at your lowest. Story 59. I have older family members to take care of. Once they are gone, I won't have that motivation anymore, and whatever happens can just happen. I would really like to stay alive long enough to see that aliens exist. Story 60. I feel indifferent, but nothing motivates me to not be alive, so I just continue to exist. Life is good most of the time. Story 61. I don't even know what makes me stay alive. I think about it a lot, but I can't find any answers. Right now, I feel increasingly suicidal, but I will live. Maybe someday I will find my purpose. Let's hope for the best. Story 62. I never understood being suicidal. Each day, I thank Jehovah for another day because the previous day, I was very stressed due to my changing financial situation. I have hope that things will get better, and maybe a new day will give me the chance to appreciate the day before and believe that things will improve, one day at a time. Story 63. I still haven't achieved platinum in a bunch of games I have. Also, I am not going to play Grand Theft Auto 6 because I am broke, but I look forward to seeing people play it. Story 64. My family is everything to me. I would have been gone a long time ago otherwise, but I can't help but think it would devastate them or they would blame themselves if I did something. Story 65. In addition to what someone else mentioned about not wanting to survive a failed suicide, video games are a step above that for me. I think about the games I would miss out on if I were to take my own life. Story 66. In Islam, if you commit suicide, you will go to hell without judgment forever, even if you were a good person. Story 67. There are many things I want to experience and continue experiencing before I die. There are numerous foods I have yet to try, movies I haven't watched, and games I haven't played. I still want to spend more time with the friends and family I have. Life may be challenging and things might not improve, but there are still fleeting moments that make living better or at least worth sticking around a little longer. Story 68. I have concerts to attend and video games to play. I can't afford to feel down after spending so much money, especially in this economy. I did that intentionally. Each time a show concludes, I find another one from artists I admire who are going on new tours. This gives me something to look forward to and helps me avoid feeling hopeless and miserable. Story 69. The fact of being alive or ending one's life is a project in its own right. You cannot do it without being committed. Living or dying makes no difference. Only the consequences for others result from either choice. Seeing The Winds of Winter coming out soon or not at all would be one of the most epic events in the universe since the Big Bang. The resulting joy, if it does come, or the fury, if it does not, would be a sight to behold. Story 70. Sometimes I don't know. Now is one of those times. I won't end it. I just have a hard time finding motivation or hope. Story 71. I've thought it out, and I wouldn't want to leave a chaotic apartment behind for others to clean. If I were more logical, this would encourage me to go through and prune, give away, or throw things away, but I'm just too lazy to bother. In summary, laziness. It's too much effort to end things myself. Story 72. My old and completely blind dog is like a tiny king, and I am his humble servant. I don't trust that anyone would treat him as he deserves. Many dogs are surrendered when something happens to their owner, and my heart could never be at peace if that were to happen. Story 73. Possible enjoyments, even if small, include savoring food. The way I see it, once I die, I will be dead forever. The time I have to be alive on this earth to enjoy my life as much as I can is merely a blip in time. Story 74. The little things in life include nature, beauty, good food, wonderful people, meaningful conversations, and exploring where opportunities lead. Story 75. Honestly, sometimes it comes down to spite. If you tell me I can't do something, I will do it twice over with a smile on my face. My long-term goals include reaching the top of my career, aging healthily, being present for my loved ones, and making a positive impact in this world. Also, my dog. Story 76. Pure spite and the embarrassment of having an empty funeral. There is also fear of turning myself into a vegetable if I mess up the ending. Story 77. The future seems bright. I have big dreams and high hopes of overcoming childhood poverty and establishing a name for myself as a young adult. Story 78. The best reason for me is that I don't want my best friend to lose anyone else in his life. The food is also really good. Story 79. I don't need motivation to stay alive, suggesting that if something important were taken away from me, I would harm myself is not accurate. I have an inherent need to survive that guides the vast majority of living beings. Story 80. I love living just to see what I will experience. I recently went to Kentucky Fried Chicken for the first time in my life and visited a movie theater alone for the first time in 25 years. I feel incredibly happy to have these experiences. I wouldn't be able to enjoy them if I were to die. Story 81. Getting married in October, I stay alive for her. She supported me during some very difficult times last year with my total aortic dissection. Story 82. Family and friends. I lost a family member a year ago, and after seeing my family go through that, I couldn't bear for them to feel that pain again. I don't want my friends to spend their time mourning when they need to focus on their lives. Story 83. There is a verse with some lines, "Burn, life is the only moment, and to die you have all eternity." I highly agree with it. I want to see what's next while I can, because if I die, there is no turning back. Story 84. I have only seen my husband cry once in my life. It shattered my heart. I cannot imagine that every day when I am gone. He loves me too much. I live for him, but I do not tell him because it would be too much pressure on a kind soul. Story 85. I have friends and family who would be devastated. I also love spending time with all of them. I wouldn't get to finish my fanfiction. Story 86. I have many unfinished manhwa, light novels, animations, and manga. I am waiting for some TV series to be released and also have books to read. I recently attended my best friend's wedding ceremony. I take care of my elderly cats and feed the feral stray cats near my house. Additionally, I take care of my family. These are just some of the things I am involved in. Story 87. I can't harm myself because it would hurt my child. That is often the only thing preventing me from escaping. Story 88. I see my relatives. I dislike them so much that when I think of them, I become so annoyed that they use me as a tool to gain sympathy and people on their side while displaying fake sadness and grief. Story 89. I have many places to see, people to meet, books to read, and music to listen to. Life is a buffet of incredibly cool experiences. Story 90. The stuffed animals and the ambition to have my own car after all these years of trauma and to manage to get out of it. Story 91. My dad and I lost my brother last year to suicide. I have never seen him cry like he did when we unplugged my brother. I never want to witness that again, especially for something I caused. Story 92. My mom and dog. Also, a previously failed and very traumatic attempt. Maybe one day the earth will just swallow me up like poof. Story 93. My cat. I love him so much. His fluffy little face and paws are adorable. If I decide to leave, I must find him a new home first. Story 94. Every day I survive is my own small act of vengeance, after numerous people have told me to drop dead, including my high school graduating class president, who looked me right in the eye and told me she hoped I died so she would never have to hear about me again. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.